Boy, I tell you what, it is hard to beat this for the middle of November. And it's also hard to think about in the fact that in 36 hours, we're going to be talking about freeze watches and freeze warnings as we head into the weekend. One of those things where Mother Nature, she got a way of balancing everything out. Her and Father Time, it is amazing what they're able to do. 73 degrees as we pick up over 7th and Rangeline. Rather busy intersection is what we're seeing right now. It is a windy one at that, and you'll notice our barometer, it's fallen just a little bit. That's why we're starting to see some increased cloud cover from what we had this morning, but temperatures already pressing into the 70s. Look at 74 in Lamar and Carthage. Miami and Grove were that cold bubble earlier this morning. They were as low as about 52, 53 degrees. And so we've seen a nice 20-degree increase there. 71 degrees is where we stand in Chanute. And we've been talking about specifically a couple of highways here. Highway 400 and 126. Doesn't matter which one you're on, but I point those out because that's where you're going to be traveling due east-west. And if you've got a high-profile vehicle, and even if you're going to be out for the later afternoon and evening hours, our wind is not going to go anywhere. I know those of you that drive those trucks, you're already extremely safe. I just want to point out how blustery it's going to be out there. We've already picked up some gusts, 30-plus miles per hour recorded at Joplin Regional Airport. But with that being said, since our wind has increased from yesterday, also double-digit temperature increases from where we stood on really what ended up being a delightful Monday. Because we talked about that barometer beginning to fall, we see some cloud cover working in from the northwest here. No precipitation, going to stay on the dry side for the most part because the ridge of the jet stream, while not pronounced, extremely flat for the most part, does make its way just to the north of us, allows that heat to kind of rise up from the southwestern portion of the United States. But here's what we're going to eyeball. I know it seems like it's a long way away, but this is our cold front that's going to collapse down on us. That being said, at the same point in time, while they've got freezing temps up there, they also have historic flooding in the Pacific Northwest. We talk about this maybe 2-3 times a year, the old atmospheric river that comes off the Pacific just sends all that moisture over here and just doesn't stop. It is nonstop that results in flooding, mudslides, especially when we get into the California area. Now, this dominated mostly Washington State and Oregon. Luckily for them, we're starting to see this slip on the eastern side of the Rockies. Whole bunch of snow right here, but not a whole lot of precipitation after it crosses through, kind of dumping everything over the mountains and providing pretty dry weather for us. But there's the low pressure system and eventually that cold front that is going to be able to depart as the highs make their way east of the Mississippi. But with that being said, still going to go mid to high 70s. I'm not going to be surprised if we don't slip into 77, 78 every now and then. Not widespread, but more so down to the south is where we will see the increased temperatures. Overnight, all right, here's where we get a little action. Wind persists from the south, 15 to 20 miles per hour. And what we'll do is we'll pay attention tomorrow morning up to the north. There's our rain that rolls through. Don't worry about the rain. 1/4 to 1/2 inch of accumulation. No thunder, no lightning, no bigs there. Look at that. Notice how those temperatures just fall right behind the rain, and they'll continue to drop through the afternoon hours. We're probably going to top out temperature-wise, maybe right as we turn the clock into midnight on Wednesday. So Thursday, going to be much cooler. Give you an idea why you want to stay with Tanya and I for the KOAM Morning News tomorrow, because this is going to develop about 3 o'clock right here on this line. And there's your colder temperatures all on the backside. So as we're doing the morning news, that's when it's going to collapse down upon us. You're going to want to probably walk out your door tomorrow and be like, oh, this is delightful. Why would I ever take a jacket with me? Then you're going to walk out tomorrow afternoon and you're going to say, what in the world just happened?
The 4 states. That's what just happened.
I'm really surprised right now. The National Weather Service has not thrown up any freeze warnings for a 72-hour span. And because I've been checking them all morning long. I'm like, they're going to happen. They're going to happen. So far, they haven't.
They want you to focus on glass half full and enjoy today.
They're doing a good job because I keep on hitting the refresh button.
There you go. All right. Quit looking for it. Just doing your job. Thanks, Michael.